What's up, everybody? Welcome back to your favorite wrestling podcast. It is the Monday Night Wave, baby. And we back. We back with another episode of these grabs, these raps. But before we get into that, I'm going to introduce myself as the lonely one, Mr. Respect the Jumper, Mr. Jacob Pod 2, Mr. Podman Page, Mr. Podbreaker himself, the lonely ones in the building again. I'm thrilled to be back, man. It's we got a lot to talk about. It's Mania season. We got shit is definitely ramping up, even on like the AEW side as well. And before we get into all that though, I will be nothing without my illustrious number 2 here, the co-host, Mr. Heroic. Please take it away.
Like Tom Brady and LeBron James, he knows how to play the game. Yeah, hero mentality. It's that hero mentality. He is a wild card. He is the king of gorgeous. He is Mr. Sexy Ass Lottery. He is hero, and I am he, and I am glad to be back.
Jesus shit, man. All right. Fuck, that's funny. Not a lot of news here today, so we're just going to do some quick little recaps and whatnot. First things first, I got on the list here is that the women's triple threat has been made official. Yes. Bianca, Io, Rhea will officially tear down the house. I don't know if they said it's night 1 or night 2 yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can break that down when we talk about the cards. I have both of them up.
But yeah, it's official. Rhea squeezed her way into this somehow, some way, and we all knew that, like, you know, it was going to happen. But here we are. I think we already talked about who we wanted to see win this match, so I'll reverse it. And let's see, what's a good question that I can ask here? Well, I guess this one kind of ties into the show. Is Bianca the heel?
Okay, so. No, she's not the heel. The thing with this, because obviously she was getting booed. Also, we were calling Europe racist, which I still will call Europe racist for sure. But but yeah, she was getting booed here too, and I think they were in Minnesota or Minneapolis or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, oh man, there's a part of me that wants to say it's still racial. Like, to me, deep down inside, I feel like there's something still slightly racial about it. And the reason why I do is because, like, all right, so I heard the argument over a couple of different people's opinions when everyone was talking about like Bianca's boos through Europe and whatnot, and people were like, the people are listening to, they were like, Rhea is just more popular right now. Like, she's a fan favorite. I mean, people love Bianca, people love Io, but if we're like breaking it down, like, and this is one of the reasons during one of our pods, I was like, Rhea to me is the biggest female star in all of wrestling right now. Like, she's just super, super, super popular. On top of everything else. And so it's not the fact that people hate Bianca, even though there was people, I remember people used to say Bianca Hogan, just like people used to say Becky Hogan or Mercedes Hogan, whatever. But Bianca has been out of the main title scene for over a year. She's been doing just tag stuff. This is her first real thing in like over a year. So I don't feel like it's people being sick of her, a la of like a Charlotte or anything. I just think people are choosing to boo her as opposed to Io, who everyone super loves also, and then Rhea, who everyone super loves. My only small counter to that, which is why I kind of want to say it's a little racial, is that you look at the men's triple threat with Roman, Seth, and Punk. Roman, right, super loved. Punk, beyond love. And people love Seth too. But no one is booing Seth, and Seth is technically like the third biggest star in that match. He's technically on the low totem.
He's the Io.
Yeah. In this situation, he would be the Io. But he's, he'll do a stomp to Punk, which he did this Monday. It was great. Or he'll do a stomp to Roman. They're not booing him. Like, they'll sing his song. Like, so it's like the crowd shows all three of them love equally. Like if Punk does something, you'll get CM Punk chants. Roman does something, Roman Reigns, or people put up the ones, or then people sing Seth's song. But with the women's, it's like we'll cheer Rhea, but it's boo Bianca. So it's weird.
And she won. She won the women's championship. She's the one who should be there.
Yeah, and I honestly, if they do, like, I'm still very weary and on the fence of ever turning her heel. But as of right now, like she has a legitimate reason. Like she could easily do the "you people" type of heel promo, and it would actually make sense. Like there would be weight to it if she did yeah. But do you tie it into that
with Naomi? Do you tie it?
At some point, you're gonna at some point she has to, whether she wins this title or not, she has to circle back to whatever is going on with her other two friends, because they keep bringing her up. But now she's like on Raw until after Mania, which we'll see how that goes. So she's pretty much in a separate universe right now.
It's true.
Yeah, like they're doing MCU, she's doing Sony. So, but they keep name dropping her and shit. So, at some point, they're gonna have to like circle back, and she's gonna have to like have another face to face with both of these women,
Fair. You mentioned the Seth stomp. We find out this week that Seth Rollins says to Paul Heyman, "Now you owe me a favor," which was a good promo. I love the way Raw ended. This was solid to me.
It was a great segment, man. That's not even being biased. Like it was just really a good segment.
It was a great segment. So, what would Seth's favor be if Punk's representation, or just wise men, help in the hierarchy? What does Seth want?
Maybe there's. I have two answers as of right now. Either he wants help to win the match, which is how I felt, which is what I thought Punk was going to ask for. Which Punk still says he has a favor up his sleeve, I guess. The second thing is he doesn't want anything. He's literally just doing this to get in both of his opponent's head because he's a damn architect and he's a goddamn planner.
Yeah.
So it could be either way. It could be some big reveal drop. The internet, the IWC, they've been fantasy booking or what's that thing when you write a novel?
Fanfic?
Yeah, all fan fiction type shit where it's like Punk and Heyman, or not Punk Heyman, Seth and Heyman align together, and so that's why Seth wins. And then Seth is now officially a Heyman guy, which that could happen. I don't think it will, and I also don't personally want it because I feel like it'd be lazy writing, in my opinion, based off of like seeing how Seth's character has been evolving and like how he was super adamant about not doing war games and all this other stuff. To me, it would be backtracking if he was like, all right, I'm gonna align myself with Heyman just to spite Punk and Roman. But if they make it make sense, then it is what it is. I can't be mad at it. So I feel like that was them also planting those seeds towards like, oh, this is what we hear online. Well, let's just feed into that just a little bit, just to like keep the speculation going. But we know who he is. He says he's had a plan the last couple of weeks, or he's at least formulating. He has the concept of a plan, maybe. And I think this might be part. I mean, this could easily be part of it in the sense where it's like I don't even want a favor. Now I want Roman to double not trust you, which is going to make him fall more to me because we both hate Punk for other reasons. Like I don't know. Yeah, I think he's on some Riddler Joker type shit.
You might be right because like Seth is king of mind games, but also the king of getting in his own way. So, and these favors that's being passed around, don't think that Roman's just sitting here just letting shit happen. Like he's not just going to let you motherfuckers get advantages. This is the motherfucker who always has had the advantage. Whether that's Jay, whether that's Jimmy, whether that's, Solo. Like, he's always had advantages up his sleeve. Plot armor. There is so much that goes for Roman Reigns that, you can't just let him be. He's over there cooking some shit, too. I will say, this is probably the most, interesting Mania match to me. Like I can't wait to see this one, see how it plays out because it can go so many different ways.
I think it's the most interesting as well. And again, it's no bias. It's mostly because at least two people are showing up on a slightly weekly basis to help build it.
True.
Or
True.
3 because Heyman as well. And that is a shot to Roman. So DT, hope you like it. But which Roman is apparently going to be here on Monday, so we'll see how he helps fully or further develop the story. But yeah, no, as of right now, to me, it's the most interesting. And then I would put the women's triple threat right after that, only because of Cena and Cody and how Cody's just building this damn feud by himself, essentially. Which
Fair.
I don't want to super beat down Cena and call him a liar, because I know deep down, like, if he could be at every show, he would. And they did update his schedule, like he's going to be around a lot more after Mania. But as of right now, the build, like, it's, I don't know, to me it's kind of like it's been waving. It's kind of been a roller coaster. Like the first Raw promo was like, it was cool. It was like kind of still going up. And then, like, I feel like the peak was when we finally got the interaction last week, when Cody finally gets his hands on Cena, and like Cena actually finally addresses Cody himself and not just the audience. But then now I feel like we plateaued again, to where it's like Cody's doing this whole presentation with all these different titles, talking about the lineage and whatnot, where it's like Cena should be here. I honestly, I have a feeling that we're going to get a surprise Cena, because Cena's not supposed to show up until Mania, which is next weekend. But I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up on Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah,
probably SmackDown.
SmackDown's in Vegas.
Yeah, so he'll probably. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a cool or a surprise cameo of him showing up and hitting
Doing
AA
something
or something.
Speaking of Mania in Vegas and whatnot, due to KO being injured last week, Randy has no opponent. He's going around killing all this cut a body. This week he's taking his frustrations out on I think it was Solo and Jacob this week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it set up a tag match, which SmackDown, like, yeah, that's one of SmackDown's problem. Like, these random, it's almost
tag matches.
It's not that it's a problem. It's just that it's happening every week, where it's kind of Teddy Long era, damn near, to where it's like, we're gonna have a 6-man tag, player. You going 1-on-1 with the Undertaker, like
Undertaker.
It's like every week, and it's like, you guys have such a stacked roster. Please fill this shit out, because these SmackDowns have been chores. But anyway,
it kind of fucks up the tag division too, though, because when we have so many tag matches, you kind of get like just stagnant when like it should just be the tag division doing these tag matches. And that's just my personal opinion. I'm a fan of tag team matches. I'm not a fan of just sticking two motherfuckers together just for the sake of sticking two motherfuckers together. When you do have, certain individuals like, LWO working, and you got DIY and Pretty Deadly and Profits and whatnot, I get it. But when you're just putting two people together just to be like the villains of the week, that just feels a little sloppy to me. But anywho, to get back to the point was, who the fuck is Randy going to face? Like,
yeah, so it's very. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of up in arms. It could be anybody. They planted some small seeds that Aldis might be able to lace up some boots. The only problem with that, although it would be cool, it would be a cool moment. The only problem with that is that Randy is still a face right now, and Aldis has been a really good GM. He's a face too, so. Then you have a face versus face type of match, and it's like, how do you like, you're going to build that in a week and a half, 2 weeks, to where you're going to get audiences or fans to like super care or be super invested? Probably not. I think that's a better idea than, because we talked about it pre-show, where it was like, you asked, is it going to be solo, and I'm like, well, that would be a match. Like, they can do it, but it's going to be. Even if it's good, it's still going to be underwhelming because of what we are missing out on, which was KO and Randy, which had story to it and everything, depth to it. The other rumor that I've seen is that it could be Alistair or Malachi, which that would be a cool moment. It would be a la when Cody returned or when the Hardys returned to a Mania. No one expected it. But then it's like, is Randy going to do the job? I'm sure he doesn't have a problem with it. But is he going to do the job? Because I don't think, at least the way Triple H does stuff, I don't think they're not going to book Alistair to lose his first match. At least not in my opinion.
No.
So that one seems kind of iffy also. So then, yeah, it's like, who's it going to be? I don't know. As of right now, I have no guesses. Those are those are the internet guesses, and some of them both have some merit to it, and you could make both of them work out. But yeah, I don't think Solo's a. You're not going to
Well,
get people to care about the Solo shit either. In this amount of time.
because like Solo's a character that the story is really important with Solo, right? The reason why is really important for Solo. So just throw Solo in there without any like reason why he's going after Randy makes no sense. And it's also like we have a week away from Mania to where like I don't think you could do anything crazy enough to make me care about Solo versus Randy. I pulled up the cage match just to kind of see like if they ever fought, and it looks like they did one time last year. And then let's see, was this on the SmackDown? Yeah, it was on the SmackDown last year, and it didn't do too well to the critics. As far as like Alistair goes, would be dope. But like you said, like booking him to lose in Mania is also crazy. Booking Randy to take the L after all this push, once again, it's also crazy. I think the best spot is Aldis. I think that would be the most like, oh shit, like Aldis is getting in the ring. That would be kind of crazy. But once again, Aldis would have to do something. You have to retaliate, Friday. Like you got to retaliate and create the match next Friday. Like there's just a lot that I would hate to be in that situation right now, being like a producer or a writer and try to figure out where you place him. Do you throw him in the United States kind of picture? There's no point there. It's Jacob and LA Knight. Like, where do we go? You got to have him on the card.
Yeah. And then if you throw him in there, then it's another multi-man, which again, I'm on the record of saying I don't have a problem with the extra multi-people matches, but also, they would have to be different and all this other stuff. And it would kind of be out of left field besides the fact that they just interacted this last episode. I'm going to throw a random name out there. I say give him Karrion Kross. Is there enough time to make us care just as much as anyone else that we've talked about? No, but I think it'd be interesting. I would like it more than Solo. But yeah, as of right now, I legitimately have zero answers to who it could possibly be.
Yeah, I don't want them to kill like Solo even more. Solo put in work this past year. Karrion Kross would definitely put a lot more layers, especially to like the talent Karrion Kross has been around. Like the turn, maybe Karrion Kross is the turn for Randy. He's the heel maker, if you will. Right. That would be a dope little spot for Karrion Kross. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. DT.
Questions about Mania. Let's do it.
Who is we saw that Randy today going to Aldis does not have an opponent.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it earlier today. Who would you want to see Randy go up against based off of like this week's, SmackDown? We see like he got involved with Solo and whatnot. What where do you want to see them go? Aldis, Solo, Black. What makes the most sense? IC or not IC, but United States match. Where do you want to see Randy go?
I don't think it makes sense to put Randy in the U.S. title picture. And this is not to say like Randy's above that, but before KO bowing out, that wasn't where Randy was at. That wasn't the belt he was looking at. I don't think because KO was injured that Randy needs to turn his attention to the U.S. belt. Before this past Friday, if you would have asked me, I would have said that Aleister Black would have been the surprise opponent for Randy. As of right now, based on this past Friday, I think Solo deserves that spot because Solo held down one of, if not the biggest storyline over the past year. And as we talked about the build up to WrestleMania, I think you might have been the only one like in this trio that was like, yo, what's up with Solo? What's going on with Solo? Right? So I think the way that they reintroduce Solo into this by saying like, Randy, you did a lot of crying, you did a lot of talking, did it like it's a perfect opponent for Randy to be like, all right, you know what, you got something to say, like let's do it. And you give Solo the WrestleMania spot that he earned over the past year by holding down one of the biggest storylines of the company.
Okay. Second question. We went over the match card for Mania as of right now. Night 1, night 2, I came out and said that I'm not too enthused with the card. There are a couple matches that I'm interested in. Reason behind it is that, some of them have more story implications than most. Some of them just feel like filler to me. I'm going to run through the match card, and you let me know what you're looking forward to, which ones you're not looking forward to, and give me your reasons why you're not looking forward to them. I'll give you the main event first, since we already know that's going to end night 1. So Roman, Punk, Seth, at 1 through 10, how are we looking? What are we looking forward to? How high is the hype for you?
It's tough because after the past couple of weeks, it was high, and I'm sure it'll be high again after this next week. But right now, in this moment of you asking, I'm cool. I would say like I'd say like a 7. If I had to go 1 through 10, I'd say like a 7 right now.
Okay.
Like,
what do you think Seth's favor is going to be?
Like how you said, Seth's favor. Watching Seth watch the chaos, and then thinking about some of his monikers, the architect, the visionary, all of those things. I did not expect him to lean so heavily into the Heyman and Seth situation, but in terms of what is logical at the moment, based on my perception of it, I feel like Seth's favor from Heyman would be to turn on Punk, so Punk doesn't win the main event. Like, if you think about Seth's hatred for Punk and him not wanting him to be in the main event, that's what I think it would be. But I think Heyman owing this many favors in the same title match is going to force Heyman to not even participate.
That would make sense.
Scale
it, we should run through and quick rate them. 1 to 10, Ray Americano.
Come on, that's a 10.
Investment, that's a 10. That's a 10. That's crazy.
That's a 10, bro.
I'll take it. It's your 10. 5-2 LA Knight.
I want 5-2 to win. I would say that's definitely. I would probably say a 7 though.
Okay. War Raiders, yep. New Day.
I sent y'all my Blue Sky joint. If what I think is going to happen is going to happen, I don't want to do that right now because I don't want to set myself up for failure. But I would say, in terms of my anticipation for the match, I would say probably a 6 or a 5. And that's with me like taking out what I want to have happen. It's just the match straight up.
Okay. Jay, Naomi.
Real answer here would actually be like a 9.
I like that.
Not like the fake 10 that I gave Rey Mysterio.
But we talked about that earlier, to where like Jade and Naomi probably have the best storyline outside of like Roman and them on the card, right? On the match or night 1 for sure. Probably even Mania if you think about it. Like, I think we also talked about they have a better story than Cody and Cena.
Yeah, no, I think I put Jade and Naomi as probably second.
Yep.
As opposed to like Cena and Cody, and that's only because Cena hasn't been around to build the match as much as Cody has been able to. Granted, it still is anticipated match, but like Naomi's promos have been good, etc. But it is what it is.
Gunther J, where you at?
Would I put Jade and Naomi at a 9? I'd probably say about an 8, if I'm being honest with this.
And then to end night 1, Tiffany and Charlotte.
This would probably be an 8 as well. I know it sounds like I'm giving out a lot of high numbers. I actually personally think so. When I looked at the cards for both nights, I think I'm personally more interested in night 1. So I'm thinking about me too as a consumer. Like if I only had to pay for one night and I had to choose, I would have chosen night 1 for sure. There's more stories I'm interested in on night 1 than I am night 2, by far. But I think because night 2 has less matches, that's something big that happened at the end of Cody and John. Yeah,
absolutely. Something's definitely popping up.
Oh yeah,
night 2 we got.
That was the first match.
Liv, Raquel, Bailey.
Yep. This match I'm not interested in at all. I would like to see. It's gonna sound crazy, but I would like to see a turn from Bailey here. I think you can't keep losing to Lyra and being her big sis and
damn.
To me it makes no sense. So I'm gonna go. I'd probably go a 4 or 5, and that's just because how high I think of Bailey and Liv. But yeah, unless there's like a turn or something that happens, it's a much to do about nothing in this match.
Damian and Drew in the street match.
I expect this to be a banger, but my anticipation for it is not that high. I'm glad that they finally pulled the pieces of the story together over the last month, which we talked about before on here, where Priest has been at the precipice of all of Drew's incidents. But I expect it. Like I said, I expect it to be a banger, but I'm not. I don't care that much. That sounds crazy, but yeah.
Yeah, AJ Logan.
Nah, we can skip past that.
The Fatal 4-Way with Breaker, Dominic, Balor, and Penta.
Yeah, give me the Dominic win here. I am excited about this match, but yeah, I'll keep it like that. So I'd say maybe a 6 or a 7. It's gonna be some crazy spots, but if Dominic doesn't win,
if Dom don't win it,
then I'm not.
Bronze got to retain.
Happy about the match.
Yeah, no, it has to be. Balor should be the first, Dom second, Penta third. At least in my opinion. It's like if you're trying to do storytelling to where I feel like last week I said Dom should be the first one to win, which I wouldn't be mad at that for storytelling purposes, because Dom getting a Ethan Page type of win or a Shawn Michaels type of win to where he accidentally gets hit and falls into the pin, that'd be fire. If somehow Dom has Finn win, you can still set up that story where maybe Judgment Day turns on Finn or whatever the hell happens. And then there's also Penta still. And Penta's been super white hot. They've been obviously super pushing him. They're pushing both brothers and they're pushing them separately. And at some point they will join. I would say Breaker is at 4th as far as retaining. Breaker should be the 4th person. If I'm booking this, I'm choosing Dom or Finn first, depending on how I'm feeling, maybe even that day. Depending on how whatever their plan is for the post Judgment Day breakup or the post at least Finn exit is how I kind of plan it, because I don't know. It's just my POV of it.
So we got 2 more matches. Io, Rhea, Bianca. Where you at?
I've said this multiple times, even to people I work with. As long as Rhea doesn't win, I'm cool. And this is not like a fuck Rhea, I hate Rhea thing. It is not that at all. Everybody loves mommy. Everybody loves when mommy's on top. But for the sake of what is happening, she better not win. That's all I'm gonna say. And then the Cody Cena thing is what it is. Nothing against Cody. Cody needs to lose. mostly for two reasons, but mostly for the fact that if multiple people are having long reigns, it diminishes the importance of a long reign. And this doesn't have to do with like him potentially creeping up on Roman or just like Roman shit. This is just, it's more about if you like, it's more about what you're training people to think and believe about the championship, where to me it purely becomes a fiscal rating. Like, all right, he was a champion for this whole year. How much money did he draw? And it's like, yes, wrestling is a business. It's about making money, putting asses in seats, all of that. But like, don't have that be like tied to the belt, to where we now know that champion is going to hold the belt for at least a year and lose it at Mania, because then it becomes a tokenized belt. Like, that's how I feel about it. So if after hopefully Cena wins, that shit can bounce around 2-3 more times, it can skip Roman and go right back to Cody. Like, I don't care. I just don't want it to be like a nigga holding a belt for 100 days, 200 days, 300. He done held the belt for 500 days. Like, all right, bro. Like, cool.
I agree with you. My slight counter is, and it's a slight counter, is that I think Cody will retain, but then lose either at Backlash or the pay-per-view after that. Like, they added more John Cena dates, and you still have plenty of time for John Cena to like win the title, break the record, and still like eventually have enough time to like turn back face before he has to retire. But like, I think the reason I think Cody's going to retain, so they give him at least a solid full year, and then he can lose it the next pay per view, and then he'll probably win it back at some point. I agree with you that like, yeah, you're right. Like, not everyone not everyone needs long Gunther reigns or Roman Reigns, no pun intended. But obviously they like at some point you do want some credible reigns. Like, you do want someone to hold the title for a little bit. But like, the only title that has not changed hands is that title is Cody. Everyone is like, every single title has changed hands once or twice since Mania 40. Fucking Sammy won IC, lost to LeBron. Well, Sammy won it back, lost to LeBron again. The women's Rhea retained, lost to the Liv. Then Rhea got it back, then lost to the EO. Like, every title has changed hands multiple times since last Mania. I dropped my phone. Except for the main championship title. So I would imagine that Cody retains at Mania. Then some shenanigans happens that ends the show on some crazy hype shit. And then eventually, whether it's Backlash or whether it's even before Backlash, and I think maybe Cena gets it. At least that's my slight prediction as of right now. But like, yeah, every title has literally changed hands multiple times, except for that the undisputed heavyweight championship. That's the only title that has not changed hands at all since WrestleMania 40.
So if he wins, do they fake write him off? Is that a possibility to where like maybe we angle that he gets injured, like shoot wise, and therefore you get John Cena to like either acquire the belt or he has to let it go? Like, what's the
you can do a shoot angle just to give him a break, because Cody has been like
everywhere.
He's been working his ass off.
Mania last year.
Yeah,
and the year before that.
Yeah, no, I mean, even before that, like, he's been on every news channel. He did the whole thing, like when they did the Japanese tour, like he did a thing in America, and then like instantly went to Japan, even though everyone else was already in Japan. Like, he could use a break. Like, they could easily like do a quick write off to where like. It doesn't have to be a power driver type of thing, but yeah, no, they could do a quick write-off or whatever. But yeah, no, I think they're going to give him a year just so that he has a year under his belt. It's like he won the title his father never had, and he held it for a year. Like, that's easily a notch. That's something you can keep in your history, your family history for the rest of your life. And then once he wins it a second time, there's a whole other accolade of whatever the fuck. I wouldn't be all I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if Cody retains and then something happens to where like Rock and Travis like intervene and that's what ends night 2, and then eventually whether it's Backlash or whether it's a random Raw or SmackDown, at some point Cena, I would hope Cena would break Ric Flair's record. But Triple H and Ric Flair were really close. Who knows? Maybe Cena, and maybe Cena's goal, because Cena does have pull. Maybe Cena doesn't ever want to break the record. Who knows? I don't want to go into that whole. I don't want to go super depth into just thinking about all that shit and like fantasy booking. But I wouldn't be surprised. I would hope Cena breaks this record. I just don't know if it's going to be at Mania. Because I wouldn't be surprised if they just want to be like, Cody, you get at least 1 year. You get a whole year undefeated.
He's had a whole year. WrestleMania is literally almost 2 weeks after it was last year. So he's had a whole year, and instead of writing him off for a shoot injury, he can literally just lose and leave and take some time off. And John Cena can rub it in the faces of people, like he said, of he's ruining wrestling for everyone. He's taking it away while he can be a big heel. We know he's got multiple dates. We know him and Cody are on the poster for Clash in Paris. There's multiple different people. Like, it's okay if Cody loses and goes away for a little bit and whatever the case, and John Cena can run WWE as a heel and beat up whoever he wants to and whatever. Like,
he doesn't have to be like written off with an injury, but it could be like a small write-off to where like it's not Randy Orton taking multiple months off because of that one power driver or whatever, but it could be like a crazy power driver, so he's off for like maybe 1 month and then he comes back type of thing. It doesn't have to be a crazy write-off.
He's already taken a power driver. He's already been out for a month. So him taking another one and being out the same amount of time, I don't know. I disagree with it. I'll just say that.
Fair. And with that, people, we're gonna get out of here. We will catch you guys actually in the next episode, which should be Mania. I think we got some things in store. I can't let too much out the bag, but definitely be on the lookout for the Mania episode. That would be great. Because we're actually going to do night 1 as of the moment, night of. So that's going to be, pretty a lot of energy expected to go into that one for sure. But we will catch you guys in the next one. It's been real. Peace out.
Too sweet.
Yeah, sir. Believe in the wave.